Awesome, brilliant. Hey, how you doing? And we are live. This is DJ Sobanjo. Really excited to be here with you. Now, what we're doing tonight is we're looking at if you are just getting into the game, so you don't have a ton of followers right now. Maybe you're just starting your business, or you just feel I'm still small. So whether you're small or you're just starting, I'm going to show you how you can begin to attract really big clients straight away as soon as possible. I mean, this training that I'm going to be sharing with you is really essential because most small businesses, people who are just getting into the game, we have this understanding which is completely wrong. you know we have this understanding that is completely wrong, that because I'm new, because I'm still small, I need to take my time, I need to earn the right to start to attract or to start to target big clients, and I need to just take it a little easier and kind of go to the bottom of the barrel. And let me start there. So DJ, I've had people say to me, DJ, I really think I'm still new, so I need to start at the bottom of the barrel, and I should start with really low prices. And then once I've really began to get results and things are beginning to scale and beginning to grow, then I will have earned the right to start to charge higher premium rates. I'm going to tell you right now, hey, Johnny, how you doing? Good to see you, right? Just want to let you know that, yes, people think that, people assume that, but that is so wrong. Now, see, what I'm going to recommend is you understand that when you are new in the game, the one thing you don't want to do if you're new, or if you're small, is start at the bottom of the barrel. And I'll tell you the reason why, right? There is more activity at the bottom of the barrel. There's a lot more noise at the bottom of the barrel, and it's harder to break in at the bottom of the barrel. But unfortunately, we are psychologically tuned in to think that that is where we need to go. That is the markets that we need to target. But that is not the case. You see, the higher up you go, there's fewer people who are operating there. There's fewer businesses that are operating there. Now, let me kind of bring it to a certain perspective. Now, think about this, right? Think about, I don't know, a not so expensive car, Fiat Punto, for example, Fiat Punto, right? And then think about a Rolls Royce, okay? That's two massive extremes, a Fiat Punto and a Rolls Royce. Now, the reality is, if you are looking to sell a Fiat Punto, right, you're going to be competing with a lot of other people who are selling cars like that. Why? Because everyone's targeting people who are looking to buy cars, at the bottom of the barrel. But if you were selling a Rolls, you'd realize that the people who you're targeting, there's going to be fewer people who are targeting there, because most people operate at the bottom of the barrel, because most people, that's where their confidence lies. You see? So the reality is, the moment you make a decision that I want to start to target big clients, I want to start to target at the top of the barrel, you would separate yourself from most people in the marketplace. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Good to see you. You stand out straight just by making that decision, right? You're separating yourself from the noise. You're separating yourself from where a lot of the competition is and where there is little money, right? And my advice to you is, have this mindset. Now, the challenge, the reason why most experts who are good at what they do, right? So they bring a lot of quality to the table. The reason why most experts who are good at what they do don't target top end potential clients is because they believe that their value is in the size of their business. Now, that's the problem. Your value is not in the size of your business. Your value is in the difference that you can make to a potential client. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to say it really slowly, because the one thing that is holding most people back is is mindset. And that's the one thing you have to break. Your value is not in the size of your business. So the fact that that other business down the road is significantly bigger than yours, they have a massive office, they're on lots of locations, and maybe they have a gazillion followers on Facebook. And so you feel intimidated because you're working from your garage in your home, and maybe you just have probably just a couple hundred followers on social media. Then you begin to think, well, I can't compete with them. They're the big players. I'm a small player. Well, the thing is, sometimes what you've got to do is learn how to make your size work for you. You've got to learn how to make your size work for you. And the second thing you need to remember is your value is not in the size of your business. Your value is in how much of a difference you can make for that potential client, to their bottom line. How much of a difference can you make in their situation? Now, I need you to think about that. Because I know that I had that mental block myself. I remember back in the day, right? When I first left my job to go full-time in business, okay? And I sat down with my mentor at the time, and we discussed where I was going to go with business. And I was talking about what I wanted to do. I mean, I was, and he said to me, he said, but what about this market? And I felt, and in my head, I just felt, ooh, that's a big market. I'm not really sure I qualify to serve that market. And he says, okay, this stuff that you're doing, right? This is what he said to me. This work that you're doing here, if you were doing it for that market, do you think it would make a difference for them? I said, oh, yes, it would. But so why don't you target them? And I just felt, well, I don't think, because I've not worked with people like that before, I don't think I have the credibility to work with them. Then he looked me in the eye. He says, let me ask you a question. Forget about credibility. Do you have the capability? If you sat down with the CEO of one of those organizations, could you show them how this methodology you have can help them achieve this outcome? I said, yes, I could. So what's the problem? The problem was I did not believe in myself. Why? Because I felt if they were big, I had to be big too in order to serve them. Now, let me just share this to really help bring it home for you, because I know for anyone who is watching this, before we go along and start learning all the other stuff, if we don't break the mindset barrier, what's going to happen is you're going to learn all this stuff. It's going to make sense to you, but you won't do anything about it because you will be too afraid to take those steps. Okay? Now, I've used this analogy before, and I'm going to use it again. And some of you who followed me for a while would know this analogy. Now, if I live in a massive palatial mansion, right? Just face it, got amazing river view. It's a really lovely mansion. And then I have a major water pipe burst. Okay, so my water pipe bursts. Question. And then someone comes and basically they show that they are the best plumber on the planet. Now, but they don't have, as far as we're concerned, they don't even have their own business. They just work for someone, but they're really good, apparently. They're really good. They say to me, I work for this organization. I have been a plumber for the last 20 years, right? Now, and I can fix this problem. Am I going to say, well, you're not established. You don't have a company. You don't have any of that. Am I going to say that? No. Why? Because they can fix my problem. I don't care how big their business is. What I want to know is I want to know that they can help me get what I want. So they say, I've worked with this organization for 20 years and I'm just about to start my own business, right? Get in here and fix my water pipes. How much do you want me to pay you? Basically. And I'm most likely going to pay them a lot more than their boss was paid them last month. Why? Because fixing that water pipe potentially will save me a truckload of money. So, but them just coming in and fixing that water pipe, maybe if they've been sent out from work, they might have got paid maybe £30, £50, £100, but I would probably gladly pay them £5,000 for them to fix that water pipe, because if they don't, it could probably cause damage worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. Do you get the point? So the reality is, as long as the potential client believes that you can help them, right, they will spend money with you. So you've got to, the thing that is most likely going to be getting in your way is your own mindset. It's your own limiting beliefs. It's you limiting yourself because you're comparing yourself with others. Again, the question that you need to be able to answer is, if, just like my mentor asked me, and that was what helped me make that decision and just target the right audience and quickly break through in business. He was the one who saved me, because I was going to go to the bottom of the barrel like most of us do. So the same question he asked me, I'm going to ask you. Now, whatever it is you bring to the market, whatever your expertise is, whatever it is that you are now targeting the bottom of the barrel, right? If you targeted customers at the top end of the barrel, will you be able to help them? Some of you may think you may not be able to. That's a different thing. So that's a mental block. And if you're in that place, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. We need to break that first, because some people may not see how they can help premium clients. And that's usually a problem. But if you can see that you can help premium clients, then the question is, so why aren't you targeting them? And why not? You need to get going right now. Hey, Leka, how you doing? Good to see you, bro. Awesome. All right, good. Now that we've talked about mindset, I'm going to share a couple examples as we go along, just to help bring it to life for you. Is this okay? So you're starting new. You don't have a truckload of money. You don't have a massive following. You don't have a lot of marketplace credibility as far as your business is concerned. Maybe you just launched your business last week. Maybe you just launched your business last week or last month, right? So your business is new, but your expertise is not new. See, that's the thing. So if you bring expertise to the table, it doesn't matter when you started your business. What matters is the difference that you will make to potential clients. And that's the thing that you and I need to understand. Because our goal is to establish credibility with potential buyers. Our goal is not, and this is it, it's not to pretend like we are bigger than we are, or to pretend like we don't need to lie, right? What we just need to do is establish credibility. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay? So now what I'm going to share with you today is different from what I would have shared 2 years ago. I actually did deliver this training about 2 years ago, and I delivered it 2 years before that. And what I shared 2 years ago was different from what I shared 2 years before that. And what I'm sharing today is different from what I shared 2 years ago. Why? Because the marketplace dynamics are always changing. Now, human behavior is quite predictable, but then there are other factors that impact on how we behave. I mean, one big one is the pandemic has had massive impact on how we behave. And so what I'm going to be sharing with us really is the stuff that you can implement now. Okay, good. So we've talked about mindset, because that's a big barrier. And as we go along, you're going to realize I'll keep chipping it in because it's really critical. Now, it's really essential, if you're looking to build, right, that your focus must be buyers. Your focus must be buyers. It's so easy when we get into this game to get caught up in a lot of activities. It's so easy. I know, we're all in this game together, right? Some of the things we could get caught up in is we're going to get caught up in look and feel, right? We want to look like a business. Right now, once upon a time, that used to be an office. You want to have a fancy office, you want to have business cards and all that other stuff that kind of made you feel like you had a business. These days, it's different. Now we want to have a website. We want to have, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying websites are not important. I'm just saying, don't get caught up in the look and feel. All of this stuff is important, right? But the truth is, you don't really need a website. I'm not saying don't have one, but I'm saying if you're just getting into the game, you don't necessarily need a website to get going, to get started. What you need to get started, I'm going to share with you right now. Okay. Um, my suggestion is, please listen to this, focus on getting appointments with qualified prospects. Who is a qualified prospect? Someone who fits the profile of your ideal premium buyer. That should be your focus. So if you're looking to track and measure how well you're doing, what you want to be looking at is how many appointments did I schedule last week or last month? Or if you're looking at this week, how many appointments have I got lined up this week with qualified prospects? Why? Because if you're talking to qualified prospects, you will convert some of them to buyers. If you're not talking to qualified prospects, then it's very unlikely you will convert them to buyers. So what I recommend is really pay attention to the things that get you paid. And what gets you paid is when you are consistently talking to qualified prospects regularly. Don't get caught up with a lot of the distractions, the good stuff that actually, there's lots of good stuff that is not good for you right now. Let me say this again. There's lots of good stuff that may not be good for you right now. If there's anything that you're doing right now in your business, if you are new or if you are small, that is not focused on helping you get appointments or helping you convert appointments to buyers, then that thing is a distraction, even if it's a good thing that other people are using within their businesses. They're not you, and you are not them. Okay? There comes a time when you can say, I've got this nailed. I've got some regular cash flow. My business is consistently bringing in money. Now I want to really ramp things up. Now I want to expand using this. That's when you, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But right now, where you are new or you are small, what you want to do is you want to make sure your calendar is filled with appointments with people who qualify as your ideal premium buyer. Now, who is your ideal premium buyer? Good question. It is someone who will get the most value from your input into whatever it is they're doing, and would be willing and able to pay top dollar for your expertise. That's who your ideal premium buyer is. Let me say that again. Who is your ideal premium buyer? It's the person. So think about this, and I'll give you an example. Who will get the most value out of what you bring to the table, and they are willing and able to invest top dollar for what you bring to the table. Now, let me just use this example. Let's say you're a fitness coach, right? Fitness coach. Great. You're just coming into the game. Now, there's lots of different ways you can go about this. What would I recommend? Right? You come to me, say, DJ, I love what I do. I'm a fitness coach. It's just what I love doing. But I really, really want to make premium. I want to make enough money from this to not have to worry about money, not have to worry about a job. And I'm just starting out. What do I do? Now, someone could say, well, why don't you just go and start doing, lots of different exercise things and start posting it on social media and posting it on Facebook and on Instagram and YouTube. And you can do all that stuff. I won't recommend that. Not today. There was a time when I would have said start with that, but now I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work. I'm saying don't start with it. Don't. Why? Because the marketplace is very noisy. The moment you get into the game, you are now getting into a noise competition. Basically, you're looking to shout out louder, right? Or shout out in a different tone in order to catch the attention of the audience. Everyone's making noise. There's an overwhelm of all that stuff. So what do you do instead? Now, first thing is identify who is it that you could target who could pay premium dollar. So, for example, I could say, what about busy executives, right, who are living a sedentary life, who are in their 40s and over, right, who know that they, who really, really are concerned about their health and their fitness. What if you focus a business on actually helping them build a healthy and fit lifestyle around their crazy busy schedule? People like that. People who sit at their desk thinking, I really need to take care of this. Every time they walk up the stairs, they're thinking, oh my goodness, I need to get fit. But they're so busy and occupied with work that they can't even, but they're worried. It plays on their mind and they're not sure where to go, what to look, how to go about it. They're very busy people, but they have a need and they have a concern and they have a worry. I would say, why don't we target that person? Why? Because they do have a concern, they do have a worry, they do have a need. They most probably will be willing and able to pay you, right? And especially if they may have had a health scare, because once people start getting into their 40s, just to give you a clue, right? This is about targeting. When they get into their 40s, even if they don't have health scares, they have friends who've had health scares. Right. So it's a thing when you're younger, you don't care about none of that stuff. When you hit your 50s, that's a whole different ball game. Right. So imagine if you're a fitness coach and that is who you target, because you know that, they would be able and willing to invest your rates for you to help them. Okay. So you want to identify who that person is. Really critical, really important. Now, the question I asked before, which is, can you help them with your expertise? If the answer is yes, you can serve them. So don't be intimidated. Think, yeah, but they're a top executive. I'm not really sure if I qualify. I never even worked in corporate. I haven't worked in corporate a day of my life. It doesn't matter, right? You're not going to take over their jobs. You're helping them in your area of expertise, not in theirs. So as far as they're concerned, they have a problem. You're the one who can solve it. Okay, so if you know that if you sat with this person, you can help them, then yes, you can serve them. So what do you do? I'm not going to break down just a five-step approach, right, to actually do this and to make this happen and begin to attract and convert big clients. First thing is you've got to research your audience. I mean, that goes without saying. You've got to research your audience. You've got to put in the time to really get to know them, right? So there's peculiarities for every single audience. The challenge with most of us is we just guess. We kind of just guess, right? The problem with that is, what is going to help you convert buyers or to move people along the journey is when there's this word called resonance. When there's resonance between your messaging and their reality. When your messaging is connecting with them, when it just calls out to them, it connects with them, it makes sense to them, it pulls them in emotionally, and also they're intellectually as well, and it moves them along. That can only happen if you know them. And that's why you do the research. Unfortunately, many of us we skip this bit and we just do the guesswork. And then we build our business around assumptions. You can't do that. You really need to get this bit done, right? You've got to research your audience. There's ways to do that. Read the magazines that they read. Go ahead and find out forums where they hang out online. Join the LinkedIn groups they belong to, or the Facebook groups they belong to, and then look at the conversations, look at the things they complain about, look at the things that the questions that they're asking, right? And then look at how they respond to questions, look at the comments and see what they're saying. Really get to understand their language, their perspectives, their view of the world, their fears, their worries, their concerns, all of that stuff. Do the research, read the books written about them. Right? There are companies that actually do market research, and you could pay them to do market research for you. But make sure you do the research. Right? Why? Because this is going to impact on the next couple of things we're going to talk about. The second thing is you design your offers. Once you've done the research, it's so much easier to craft an offer. I mean, there is a science to your offers. You want to design an offer that really, really is really relevant to your audience, and also it will work for you. So I'm not going to spend too much detail in this. I might do another session where we'll be talking about offers. And if you really wanted to get my program, Attract Premium Clients, I really break down the whole thing about crafting offers in there. But you definitely want to craft your offers, right? And if you've done your research, then your offers should really, really align. Okay? Then the next thing you want to do is you want to design your appointment funnel. Now, what is an appointment funnel? Just keeping it really simple. It's a client acquisition funnel that's focused on one thing and one thing only. It's getting your ideal premium buyers to book an appointment with you. That's it, right? You're not trying to sell stuff. I mean, you can, but at its plainest and its simplest, it's a funnel that compels your ideal premium buyers to book an appointment with you, and they're excitedly looking forward to talking with you, right? So that's your appointment funnel. Now, by the way, I'm just going to put this out here for those of you who are watching this. On the 23rd of October, right, I'm going to be running a workshop. It's a one-day workshop, Saturday the 23rd. It's called Magnetic Messaging Workshop, where I'm literally going to, during the workshop, I'm not going to teach you. Together during the workshop, when you show up, we're going to work on the messaging that goes onto this appointment funnel that will compel your IPBs to book an appointment with you. See, we're going to work on that messaging that really works, that connects, and that compels them to move along. We're doing that on the 23rd. Now, how do you attend? And this is it. This is the first time I'm running this workshop, so I'm not actually selling it. But what I am doing is I'm giving it away to certain people. Who? People who buy my Discovery Call Magic program, not the book, right? So if you go to discoverycallmagic.com, right, you can order the book. Then once you order the book, there's an opportunity to order the masterclass recording. Everybody so by the way, if you've bought the masterclass recording, just know you're getting a free ticket. So if you're watching this and you bought my Discovery Call Magic masterclass recording, or if you bought Attract Premium Clients in the past, you will get a free ticket to this workshop. So my advice is go to discoverycallmagic.com, get the book, right? And then upgrade to the masterclass recording, and that will give you a free ticket to that workshop. Okay, so design your offers, then design your appointment funnel. Now, let's talk about content, and I'm going to then show you how this is all going to work together. People say content is king, and to a certain degree, that is true. But when you are small or new and just starting out, what you don't want to do, so I was just checking because I'm live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and there was a little bit of a flutter on my Facebook feed, so I just wanted to make sure that's fine, but it's good. Okay, great, good. So now content, I'm going to give you this content, just lay out how you should do content, which again is different from a lot of what people are teaching you. First of all, you do not need to create a ton of content. In fact, my suggestion is you create one piece of content a month. How many? One pillar content a month. If you have the capacity, you can do two, right? I would say that's it. Until you're making some really serious money every month, just make one or two. Now, let me break it down. You see, because your intention here is quality over quantity. You're not looking for eyeballs. You see, with people who are creating a lot of content, they're creating a lot of content because they're building audiences. And when you're building an audience, you need to make sure you're consistently creating content, because everybody who is building an audience is competing with everybody else who's building an audience, because it's all on similar platforms. So if you're on Facebook, just like I'm doing a live now, there's a ton of other people who are doing lives. Everyone's got to make a decision which live they're going to attend. So when you're creating content like this, you've got to be churning it out consistently. So because you need to make sure you're remaining top of mind for your audience. But you're not building an audience, you're generating buyers. There's a difference. And so for that reason, you don't need to create a ton of content. Don't get caught up into that. Because you will realize is you work your backside off, create a ton of content, get a little bit of engagement here and there, but you won't make money, and then you get frustrated, and then you walk away. Or you might do what some other people do and then say, you know what, I'm just going to be a social media manager and make money that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to show you a better way to make some serious money, even if you're just starting out or you're new in the game. And that is 1 to 2 brilliant pieces of content. Now, how does this work? So if you're doing 1 a month, that's 12 pieces of content. If you're doing 2 a month, that is 24, okay, a year. Now, you know your target audience. You want to sit down, having done your research, find out their top 12 questions that they ask. Or if you're doing 24, the top 24 questions that they ask. Really, really relevant challenges, difficulties, problems, and then just write them down, right? So maybe if you're the fitness coach who works with a busy executive who's in their 40s and over, right? It could be something like, well, the top 5 exercises you should do if you're in your 40s and you have consistent back pain. Right now, that's really relevant in your 40s, having consistent back pain, the type of exercise, 5 exercise programs or whatever. I'm not a fitness coach, but you get the idea. So that is really specifically relevant to that particular person. Another piece of content that maybe this person could do might be, again, people in their 40s, et cetera, how, I don't know, I can't make anything up, but you get the idea. Here is you sit down, the audience, do your research. Now, the reason why I couldn't make that up is because I don't know the audience, right? But if I had researched the audience, if I'd done my research, I would easily come up with topics. It's just like, so, and that's what you do. So you create the content. Now, this must be targeted, not generic. You are talking specifically to your ideal premium buyer and no one else. So you will call them out consistently. You will speak to them. You will speak within their context. You see, that's the beauty of it. You will speak within their context, and you can say, hey, there's lots of advice going around saying do this, do that, and do that. But for you, who is describe your ideal premium buyer, if you do that, it will hurt you. Instead, this is what you need to do. Can you see that? It's very, very powerful, because you are basically saying generic advice doesn't work for you. This is what you should do instead. And then you break it down. That's the kind of content you want to create. Now, the reality is, as much as you can, try to make your content, if you can, evergreen. What I mean is the content you create today should still be awesome 2 years from now or 3 years from now, because you don't want to create a ton of content. You want to create content that works for your business, right? So any content you create, think about evergreen content, not content that 3 months afterwards, it's like, so you're riding a wave. So maybe right now I'm trying to think of something that's newsworthy in the moment, and then I decide to create content around that. That's cool, because that's going to get me a lot of attention. But actually, a couple, 2 months down the line, that piece of content is obsolete, and you don't want to do that. You want to create content that will continue to work for you. All right. So it's targeted and it's not generic. And then the call to action is the same call to action. Very compelling call to action, inviting them to book an appointment with you. Right? So having taught what you're talking, whether it's video or whether it's an article, it's compelling, brilliant content. The call to action then is, hey, if this makes sense to you, and if you want help with XYZ because you're going through ABC, then go ahead and book a free one-to-one consultation with me, where we will have a chat about that and look at how we can help you move forward. That's it. Okay. Now, so you create this content with simple call to action, and you've got your funnel. Now, the next thing you need is, how do I get people to find my stuff? because you create the content doesn't mean people are going to come. I know there's stuff like SEO and things like that, but you don't want to be dependent on that. You really don't. It's just a massive, crazy world out there, right? It's very noisy. You want to cut through the noise. So there's two ways to do this. Now we want to drive traffic. We want to drive traffic to our pillar content, as we call it, and then get them to go ahead and book appointments with us. So I'm going to talk about if you're looking to invest time, what you do, and then I'll talk about if you're looking to invest money, what you do. Quick question, is this making sense? If it is, just send a quick yes. Let me know. I've been going on and on. I haven't even checked if my sound is coming out. Let me know if you can hear me. Just send a quick yes or a thumbs up. Anything like that would work. Okay, thank you. Brilliant. Now, so if you were looking to invest time, right? How can you do this? I'll just share. Really, it's through outreach. There's three ways. One, get on the phone. My first gig that I got, which was a £20,000 gig, after I left my paid job, was through phone calls. I was getting on the phones, literally. Hello, this is DJ Sobanjo for Max Living Leadership and Development Solutions. We're expanding operations. That's what I did. Now, people say, well, I don't want to do that. Well, you know what? I didn't enjoy it per se. There's other ways you can do it. There's ways you can do that. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But that's one way, right? One way is just get on the phone. You look for them. Go ahead and Google them. Find out who they are. Find out if you can get a telephone number. Get on the phone and make the phone call. Right. And you will go through a bunch before you get a quality prospect. And there's a process for that. Maybe some other time. For those who are in my inner circle, I will break that down for you, those who want to learn how to use the telephone approach for outreach. Another one is email, which also works very well. You just send an email. Hey, don't want to bother you. Found this. Please listen. There's a difference here. Don't send bulk spam messages. Please don't. It's just not cool. It's not. Don't go and harvest a bunch of email addresses and then just bulk email them. You will get blacklisted, and deservedly so. Okay, don't go and harvest a bunch of email addresses, upload it into your autoresponder, and then just start spamming people. It doesn't work, right? And even if it does work, it will get you into trouble, right? But you find an email address, you can just send them. I know it's a bit manual, but I just said that's one way to do it. Another way you can do it is sending direct messages. That works as well. Right? People do it. Now, it's doing it the right way. Some of you have got direct messages from people, which is quite irritating. I know that I have. I'm just saying these are ways you can do it. Phone, email, direct messages. There's the way to do it, but I can't go into the detail here on here, right? But the other is if you have money to invest, targeted advertising. You can use Facebook ads, you can use Google ads, Facebook ads, that includes Instagram as well. And basically, usually what you will do, there's two ways to do this, right? You can drive traffic towards the brilliant content, right? And then on that page is a call to action. And my suggestion is you want the call to action to be there on that page. So you're driving traffic towards your brilliant content, and then they see it, they book an appointment, and then you can set up retargeting, retargeting for those who don't book the appointment, inviting them to come and book. Okay, so it's really that great stuff. Now, the thing is, what would usually happen is they land on there. They then see that piece of content. It's amazing. Then, even if they don't book an appointment straight away, if there's links on that page to the content you put up 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and they start to click. So maybe there's only 5 pieces of content, but these 5, because you've been doing this for 5 months, right? Or even 3 or 2 pieces of content. But every single piece of content that they engage with from you, right? It really is very compelling, right? It gives them clarity, it gives them hope, but more importantly, it builds belief. Now, you may not be a guru, But in this moment, you have become their guru. They are associating this amazing insight and hope and clarity that they're getting with the person who's sharing the information, you. So you may not have a gazillion followers and you may not have branches all over the world, but in this moment, as they are getting solutions to their problems and clarity in this moment, emotionally, right? There's emotional resonance happening here with you. The resonance is beginning to happen as they engage with one piece of content and then the other, and then they will book an appointment. Okay, then they book an appointment. Now, that's why I said it's not in the volume. You don't want to just be creating this, flimsy, feel good content, right? You don't have the capacity for that. You just don't have the time and the energy and the money to be putting out this flimsy, feel good content. Not now. Not now. Now, if you can afford to pay someone to do that for you, like a social media manager, that's fine, do it. But you definitely want to have a strategy to creating great content and then inviting them to a compelling page, which is asking them to book an appointment so you can help them move along. That's what you want to have, right? Now, so you want to have this appointment funnel that compels them to book an appointment and also prepares them for the appointment. Okay, so it's not just that they book, but booking is one step. Now their mind still needs to be primed for the appointment. You want them coming to the appointment excited and hopeful because they're thinking, he can help me, she can help me. I can't wait to meet with them. They're not coming to the appointment, let me see what they've got to say. No. If you have a person coming to an appointment sitting like this thinking, all right, I'm here now, impress me, there's a problem. It means your funnel was not designed well. They should come into the meeting thinking, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really, really excited that I'm finally able to meet with you because I think you can help me. That's what a good appointment funnel should be doing. Okay? All right. So my advice is, this is really, gosh, boy, I like to do this 40 minutes, but I might just finish at 45 past. Bear with me. So I've got 3 minutes and then we're gonna be done. Okay, so my advice is, once you've set this up, just start driving traffic. Start driving traffic towards it, because your goal is appointments. Whether you're using outreach approaches because you don't have money, but you have time, or maybe you're investing in order to get this to happen because you don't have time but you have money. You definitely want to do this because as the more quality appointments you're getting, right, you're having these appointments and you're using Discovery Call Magic to convert them. That's why you will buy Discovery Call Magic. If you haven't, I know many of you have, right, then you will convert buyers. Your goal is not to be popular. Your goal is to have a successful business. Who cares whether you have a big office, a beautiful website, or you have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of likes and followers of your content online? What's most important, really, and is you have money coming into your business. That should be your priority. And if you're talking to quality prospects, you will be making money. So funnels, you want funnels. So basically you want to have that funnel built out. Messaging and compelling copy. I've talked about the workshop I'm running. If you want to attend the workshop on the 23rd, right, just go and get Discovery Call Magic. If you've bought the book before and you didn't get the upgrade, let me know and I will give you the link to get the upgrade. Okay. Your content strategy, it really is, the key thing is create quality content. Quality over quantity. Okay, that's the key thing there. And then focus on filling your calendar with appointments. Now, if you need help with your content strategy because you're thinking, I really, really need some help, that's fine. Just reach out, send a direct message. Literally in each of these things, I can help you. I can help you with your funnels. We actually designing that optimized funnel. We can do that for you, with you. Your content strategy, we can work with you to get that done. Filling your calendar. Now, filling your calendar with appointments, it's essential. It really is. Now, we're just launching something really special, which is focused on helping you fill your, we're not teaching you how to do it, we're doing it for you. Filling your calendar with appointments with quality premium prospects, right? If that interests you, again, just just send a direct message. Okay. And the final thing is converting the appointments, and just get Discovery Call Magic. That's it, discoverycallmagic.com. That's the solution to that. All right, guys. So I really, really, really hope that you take this on board and you look to implement this. I promise you, if you implement this, it will work for you. It's not complicated. Unfortunately, most of the time, people just complicate this stuff, but it isn't. It really isn't. Don't get distracted by a lot of other stuff. Your goal should not be to have, your priority, that's the right language, should not be a website. Your priority should not be an office. Your priority should not be to, oh, I want to have this many followers on social media, da 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 da, right? Your priority should be appointments with quality prospects who fit the profile of your IPB and converting them to buyers, right? And the key to that is what I've shared with you here. When you begin to implement this, you will have people excitedly buying your higher price solutions, your $3,000 plus solutions, excitedly looking forward to working with you, because in their world, you are the guru, even though in the greater world, nobody knows you. But who cares? Do you want to be popular and broke, or do you want to be not so well known but have a healthy bank account? That's your choice. Me, I want a healthy bank account, right? Whatever you choose, it's totally up to you. Thank you so very much for sitting through this. It's been absolutely amazing as usual. If you're watching this on Instagram, I'm going to upload the recording straight away. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, it's always going to be here. You can come back and watch the replay and, just play it over and over again. Take lots of notes, implement it. If you do need the help, reach out. Let's help you make this happen. Let's help you build that successful business. This is DJ Sobanjo. God bless you, and bye for now.